Welcome. Today we'll discuss the ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China, particularly their effects on the soybean market. It's been reported that China has not placed an order for U.S. corn and soybeans since January 16th, just before President Donald Trump's inauguration. This marks a significant shift in trade dynamics between the two nations. As we know, during his first term, President Trump initiated a trade war with China, imposing heavy tariffs on Chinese imports. Now, in his second term, Trump has continued his campaign promise to raise tariffs not only on Chinese goods, but also on products from other countries. These tariffs have reached as high as 145%, prompting China to retaliate with a 125% tariff on U.S. goods, vowing to fight to the end. This ongoing trade conflict has caused the U.S. to lose its position as China's top supplier of soybeans, with Brazil stepping in to take the lead. In fact, reports show that Chinese negotiators recently traveled to Brazil to discuss expanding soybean imports. Although the U.S. is no longer China's primary soybean supplier, it still sends about half of its soybean exports to China. In 2024, China imported over 27 million tons of soybeans from the U.S., worth an impressive $12.8 billion. For soybean farmers in the U.S., there's some relief. President Trump recently announced a 90-day break on tariffs for most countries affected by these trade wars, reducing the tariff rates to 10%. However, China was excluded from this reprieve. The American Soybean Association, ASA, expressed concern over the ongoing tariff escalations with China. Caleb Ragland, ASA president, highlighted the significant risks posed to soybean farmers. He emphasized that while short-term disruptions are painful, the long-term consequences, such as damage to the U.S.'s reputation and reliability as a supplier, could be devastating. Farmers are still recovering from the first phase of the trade war and are not eager for a prolonged second phase. Moreover, China is also focusing on boosting its domestic grain production, which could further pressure the U.S. soybean market. A recent report from the Chinese Agriculture Outlook Committee revealed that China plans to increase its grain production to a record 709 million tons by 2025, mainly through large-scale efforts to improve crop yields. These developments indicate that the soybean trade war is far from over, and the long-term effects on both the U.S. and Chinese agricultural markets remain uncertain.